How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Set 6, and today we're going to be talking about Ever Crisis, but first, we really quickly need to talk about this State of Play rumour. Might do a separate video for it, I don't know, but at the minute, it's all rumours and conjecture that we're going to get a State of Play on Thursday, and that we're going to get a Final Fantasy VII Rebirth trailer. Now, initially, I was quite dismissive of this, as I am with most of these leaks and rumours, because they tend to not happen. Most of them tend not to be true. If you think about it, the amount of leaks that you see on the internet, most of them tend to be bullshit. Every now and again, one of them will tend to be true. But over the last 24 hours, we've seen some tweets that maybe were scheduled tweets that the person accidentally posted, which is suggesting that now is the perfect time to pre-order Rebirth and stuff like that. I don't know. I'm kind of 50-50 on it. I think we might get a State of Play on Thursday. But the point to remember is that even if we don't get a State of Play on Thursday, we will be getting some sort of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth trailer or announcement or something by the end of Tokyo Game Show. So within the next 10 days, we'll probably have something for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Whether it comes on Thursday or whether it comes next Thursday or next Friday, not too sure. We could get the State of Play. That happens on Thursday. If it does, we get a Final Fantasy VII Rebirth trailer in that. And then we could also get something else at Tokyo Game Show, maybe an interview or something like that. It's worth keeping an eye on. It's worth thinking about. But that's not the point of this video. I will do another video tomorrow focusing on the State of Play. Today, however, like I say, we're focusing on Ever Crisis. And yeah, some of you are going to disagree with what I'm about to say quite strongly. Some of you are probably going to hate me for what I'm going to say. I don't know, I'm quite paranoid about putting this video out. I seem to be building a reputation as the angry guy, and I don't think that's particularly fair. I have thoughts and opinions, and I'm quite strong in my thoughts and opinions, but like Baldur's Gate 3 has just had me crying tears of joy for a month, and I'm ready to jump into it again. So yeah, I don't really think that that's fair, but at the same time, I'm conscious that I'm probably going to piss a fair few of you off with my thoughts on Ever Crisis. Don't forget, drop a like on the video and subscribe for future content if you don't hate me by the end of this. But let's get on with it. So, Ever Crisis. We all knew what Ever Crisis was going to be. We all knew that it was going to be a mobile gacha game that went over the compilation of Final Fantasy VII, as well as introducing some new concepts and some new narratives. That was kind of what we knew was coming, and everyone knows what gacha games are like, and you know whether you like them or you don't like them. I personally am not only not a fan of gacha games, but I kind of hate them in a lot of ways because of the predatory techniques and practices that they put in place to separate people from their money, and the fact that they will disappear one day, and all of the usual complaints of gacha games. That's why I hate them. So yeah, we all know that. Everybody knows that you're either liking them or you're not liking them. But because this is a Final Fantasy VII game, and because it's introducing new narrative elements, I kind of feel like I have to engage with the game, because otherwise my content's going to suffer. Because something that they're going to put into Ever Crisis is going to tie into Rebirth and the project beyond that, and we need to know it. So I have to engage with this game, unfortunately. So my hopes were that it was going to be bad, but it wasn't going to be the worst thing, and that I was at the very least going to have like the original story of FF7 and new takes on Dirge of Cerberus and Crisis Core and things like that. I'd kind of set myself into the mindset that I wasn't going to enjoy it, but I was going to be able to tolerate it because of what it is. It's Final Fantasy VII. What it ended up actually being and what I ended up actually experiencing when I played it for the first time was far different to that. And I'm going to go over the whole thing. I'm going to give like an early review of Ever Crisis because I'm not all the way through it yet. You know, the content that we've got, I'm not completely through it because I'm struggling to get through it. Like, it's painful to play. It's actually painful to play. But I'm going to go through it and try and justify my stance on why I hate this game so much, because I kind of do. I kind of do hate it. It's going to have to do a lot to bring me back. So let's get started. The first thing is the gacha mechanics. We've already gone over that. It is quite in your face. You'll reach a certain point in the chapter and it'll be like, bam, it'll pop up in your face like, oh yeah, you can buy this, you know, you can spend money and buy this. Oh yeah, spend money, please. Ooh, ooh. And it does that a lot. It is constantly popping up little messages and notifications suggesting to you that you buy some crystals and you use them to make things easier on yourself. And yeah, that's just gachas in general, so I get that. I fully expected that. It is quite in your face, and I'm not a fan of it, but it was at the very least expected. Another thing that was expected is how grindy it is. you'll be going through the story and it'll incrementally expect you to be stronger. So, you know, like a level might go up by a few hundred. You know, the next level might be a few hundred strength more than you're currently on. And that's not too bad. You tend to find yourself ahead of the curve here and there, so, you know, you'll be able to go through 4 or 5 episodes quite easily without leveling up. But then you'll hit a wall where the power level jumps by 2,000 or 3,000, and that's where you have to go and grind or go and play a different story or something else. But at that point you have hit a wall and you have to grind over that. There's nothing you can do regarding that. Except for pay. You can pay. Don't forget, you can always pay. But yeah, you have to grind your way through these walls, and they do get a bit annoying, because once you reach that point, you have to then go into a separate menu and either do gear enhancement quests or character XP enhancement quests, or quests that will get you access to materials that let you level up nodes for your character, which will give you like a +5 to attack or +50 HP, etc, etc, etc. All the sort of stuff that you'd expect from a game like this. They have weaved some things into it, like you've got materia, you can enhance your materia and stuff like that. But in general, it's just more ways to make you consume resources, and more ways to give you more resources that you need to consume, purely so it's more likely that you will dip into your pocket and just buy some, rather than taking on the grind, because, again, it is a hefty grind. So that's 2 problems with Ever Crisis that I was kind of expecting, and I think most of us were kind of expecting. And the next one is, it's another one. It's the complete lack of gameplay, really. I mean, don't get me wrong, there is gameplay in there, but the gameplay isn't what you'd expect. The gameplay is menu management and resource management. That is the game. That is the game that you're playing. It's not a battle game, it's not an RPG or anything like that. It is purely about menu management. Can you make your number go higher? That's it. That's the game. Can you make your number go higher? There's nothing else to it. When you're in combat, auto battle is much more efficient than you can be at a high speed in smashing through the game. It'll automatically change into defensive mode when you need it to, whether it's, you know, you're doing a heal, so you want the defensive mode for the boosted healing, or if the enemy is going to hit you with a massive attack, you can switch to the defensive mode. If you've got an enemy that you need to interrupt, you do this by hitting them with certain types of attacks that have certain attributes to them. It'll automatically target the enemy with those attacks. If you've got a weakness, it'll automatically target the weakness. There's nothing to it. And I hear people saying, oh, well, just don't use the auto battler. If you don't use the auto battler, you slow your progress down massively. And in a game like this, that is stupidly grinder, why would you do that? Like, there is no incentive to me to actually play the game. Like, it is not incentivized for me to play the game. It is actually incentivized for me to crank the speed up, hit the auto battle, let it do its thing, and get through the combat encounter as quickly as I can, so I can move on to the next one and grind more gear. That is what it is geared towards, and I kind of hate it. But again, kind of expected from a gacha game, not something that is unexpected. So, as you can see, I was already expecting it to be pretty trash in most aspects. And let's be fair, it lived up to my expectations on that front. I didn't expect quality coming from a gacha game in any of those aspects, and I got exactly what I expected, so I'm not shocked by that. These things annoy me, but I came into this fully expecting to be annoyed by those things, so that's not the issue here. The issue is when we get to the story. So let's just jump straight into this. So first off, you've got weird episode pacing, like super weird episode pacing. Like, you'll have a chapter, and the example that I'll use is Cloud falling into Aerith's church, because it gives you a scene, an episode, where Aerith and Cloud have the initial conversation where Cloud crashes through the roof and he's like, oh yeah, you're the slum drunk, that one. That conversation goes down, and then the episode ends. And I'm like, why is the episode ended there? And then the episode starts again, and you get the second part of the conversation, where they're talking about the flowers and stuff like that, and then Reno turns up. And then the episode ends again. And then you get another episode after that, where you just fight Reno. And I'm kind of sat here thinking, why isn't that just one episode? Or at the very least, why isn't it 2? Why isn't the conversation one whole episode, and then the fight is the next episode? Why not do that? It just doesn't make sense to me. It feels like they're just trying to pad out the number of episodes that they've got, and I don't get why, when they've got such a massive amount of content in Final Fantasy VII that they could reach into. It just doesn't make sense to me. But that's one of the things that kind of threw me off first. I was a little bit weirded out by that. Then we get to the story, and this story is hugely abridged. Like, there are big, massive chunks of this story that are missing. Now, people might argue that, oh, but we're hitting the main plot beats, and for the most part we're hitting the main plot beats, but you're losing a lot of the character development and a lot of the world building that came along with Final Fantasy VII. So the experience pales in comparison massively. That was my thoughts going into Wall Market. And then I got to Wall Market, and you speak to, it's weird, you speak to Scotch and Koch and a few other people at the door, you know, the expected thing where it's like, oh, we found out that Tifa's going to be here, we need to come here, we need to get in, and we need to be the girls that the Don chooses from. You have that conversation. Then you walk away, and then Koch comes up to you and he's like, oh, I've got some work for you. So you do a few bland fights for Koch, and then you do another one for Scotch, you do one more at the end, and they rip you off, and that's all well and good. And then instead of running around Wall Market and going to the Honeybee Inn, staying at the inn itself, speaking to the materia guy, doing squats, all of that sort of wonderful stuff that you enjoy in Wall Market, and is one of the reasons why this fucking channel is called Sector 6, because Wall Market is one of the most memorable parts of Midgar, in my opinion. It's fucking brilliant. So I love Wall Market and Sector 6, but instead of getting all of that content that we know and love from Final Fantasy VII, the screen goes to black, and you get a paragraph that says, after Cloud and Aerith run around for a bit, they head back to the Don's mansion. And it was in that moment that I realised exactly what Ever Crisis was. And it's just a massive piece of shit. I'm sorry to say this, but it really is. I still, unfortunately, have to engage with the game because I want the First Soldier content, and I could just watch a YouTube video, I know, but, like, I play the Final Fantasy games. I don't watch them, I play them. So, yeah, I've not really got an option. I need to take my own opinions from it. I need to play it. But everything else about this game is painful. I mean, after that, you speak with the Don, all the usual stuff happens, you end up down the trapdoor, that's it. No fight against Abzu or anything like that. You quickly climb out of the sewers. The sewers just get skipped completely. You don't actually see a single frame in the sewers. And then you climb out at the train graveyard. It's like, oh, we're going to have to run through the train graveyard. Right, cool. At least there's something. And then you're at the plate. And Jesse and Biggs are on the ground at the bottom of the plate, and then Wedgefall. It's just so weird. Like, I understand completely that they will have to chop some things around. They will have to remove some things because of the type of game it is and the way that they want to do it and the way that they monetize these games. I fully understand that. But I expected something. I expected better than this. Like, this is an actual travesty. It hurts me to think that this could be some people's first and only experience with the original story of Final Fantasy VII. Like, that is so aggressively upsetting, because it is one of the greatest and most important games ever made. Even if you don't agree with me and think it's one of the greatest, you have to accept that it is one of the most important. It was a big moment in gaming history. And for it to be treated like this and just used as a vehicle for a gacha game, it's upsetting. It really does upset me. And I know that I'm definitely causing myself to be hated by people for this opinion. I'm probably getting myself crossed off whatever Square Enix list I'm on for having this opinion. But I can't, man. I really can't. It's so bad. It's so bad. And I'm seeing so many people enjoying it as well. And I don't know what the problem is. Am I the problem? Or is this just an accepted standard in gaming at the minute? Are people just willing to accept trash? Is that what's going on? I don't know. Am I crazy? Have I got ludicrous standards for gaming? Like, I don't know. Tell me in the comments below. I'm sure you will. I'm sure you already are. I'm sure you got like 30 seconds into the video and like, shut up, there's not going to be a state of play. But genuinely, like, I know a lot of you are probably going to hate this. And I'm not wanting to kill your enjoyment of the game. If you're enjoying it, cool. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. I mean, the First Soldier is okay so far. I'm intrigued by what's going to happen. I'm learning about this new area and like the layout of it. But again, I hit a wall, so I've had to go away and do enhancement quests so that I can go back and get more of that. So even the bit that I want, the bit that I need, keeps blocking me off and restricting me. And because I'm not enjoying the game that much, I'm struggling to break through the walls. So yeah, The only positives, the only actual positives at the minute for me are the little portraits that pop up. They're fucking brilliant. I absolutely love the little portraits that pop up. I'm hoping that I've stolen one and used it for the thumbnail on today's video. And I'm probably going to do that with all of them because, yeah, they're brilliant. And the music, the rearranged versions of the original Final Fantasy VII soundtrack, for the most part, are brilliant. I kind of hated the War Market one. It feels like they've slowed it down in tempo a little bit, and I don't think it suits it very well. I think the higher tempo is better for me. But in general, the music is amazing. They're my only two positives, pictures and music. Pictures and music are my only two positives from this. What is going on? Anyway, I'm going to stop because I've been ranting for about 15 minutes now, and I've still got to edit this video. So, yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. Are you enjoying Ever Crisis? Do you think I'm broken? Are you broken like me? Do you hate Ever Crisis? Like, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Be gentle. Because I know this isn't a popular opinion. I'm sure it isn't a popular opinion, but I can't bullshit you. I've got to say what I think. I have to say what I think. And I hate it. I really hate it. Anyway, drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know what you think about the State of Play thing as well. I'm probably going to do a video on it tomorrow. I mean, we should have it announced by tomorrow if it's going to happen on Thursday. Like, realistically, it should be announced tomorrow, so, yeah. Let me know what you think about that. Let me know what you think about Ever Crisis. Let me know what you think about me being fucking broken. Whatever it is. Do you think I'm angry? Am I the angry guy? I don't think I'm the angry guy. Am I? Like, sub, all the things, but more importantly than anything, have a great day.